Alright, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is. It is 8:30 p.m. on the east, 5:30 p.m. on the west, and we got the one, the only, we got King Alski of the Rhyme Syndicate right here, right now on the line. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, brother, man. How are you today?
Oh man, I am doing phenomenal. I am doing absolutely phenomenal, bro. How are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. I'm out here enjoying this Las Vegas weather, man. You know, we trying to get some decent weather outside of that 150-degree heat we normally get.
Oh man, first of all, I gotta say, man, I am jealous as a hell that you were out in Las Vegas, bro. You know what I mean? I'm out here in Canada, man, but you got the parties, you got the slots, bro. Like, you got everything out there.
Yeah, and, you know, growing up here, it don't even impress you after a while, but I guess for the tourists, it's a good thing for them.
Oh man, most definitely. After all, you can't go wrong with Vegas. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. This is the spot.
But I gotta ask you, man, what made you actually decide to get into the music industry initially?
Oh, man. When I first started out, I was one of the best break dancers in the city of Las Vegas. I started out break dancing, and I did just about every element of hip hop. From that, I started doing like the MC Hammer, backup dancing, then from that, I started DJing. Then I joined a group. Once I joined the group, I really didn't know that I could rap, but someone asked me to help them write a rap. I wrote the rap. We started performing and doing different things around the city, man, and you know, that's how I got started. But what really made me start to actually rap was when I started to listen to like the CKOR brothers and a lot of the older groups from the East Coast.
That's what's up. You can't go wrong with the Cold Crush brothers, man. Phenomenal, phenomenal, talented individuals.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
But also, as we already know, you are a member of Ice-T's posse, the Rhyme Syndicate. But if you don't mind me asking, how did you get connected with Ice-T and the other members? Because that is a huge, huge accomplishment for any artist to actually be under Ice-T.
And how that got started is my rap partner. His name is Paulie Mack. He's in a group that I had back in the day called No No Fuck Mob. He actually ended up meeting Ice-T and becoming really good friends with him. And since me and him were in a group together, we got inducted into the Rhyme Syndicate. And then through getting inducted into the Rhyme Syndicate after traveling and doing a couple of tours with him and things like that, we ended up getting also inducted into the Universal Zulu Nation, and we were put on by Africa Islam.
Oh, nice, man. I have to ask you, 'cause I personally love Ice-T, man. I love his acting. I love his music. But if you don't mind me asking, man, what was one of your most fondest memories that's being around Ice-T?
Is we actually did Joe MTV Rap with Fab Five Freddy back in the 90s, and it was the whole Rhyme Syndicate tour. We went to the Palladium, and him, was he was introducing all the different groups that were affiliated with the Rhyme Syndicate. When he pointed at our little crew, and we were on MTV, and he said, and this, back then we were called the FBI crew, and he said, and this is the Las Vegas FBI crew. And we all got to stand up and yell and scream, and that was one of the most fondest memories right there. But that was like the first time I ever met Fab Five Freddy, and really the only time that I ever met him. So that was kind of cool for me.
Hey, man, most definitely. And I gotta ask, are you and Ice-T still connected, or did the Rhyme Syndicate kind of just branch off into other ways?
Everybody kind of branched off and doing their own thing in different areas, but we are all still connected through the art of rap. So I'm still in communication with a couple of different cats like Donald D, Hen G, Eazy-E, you know. I haven't talked to DJ Latin in a while. And then, of course, my rap partner, Paulie Mack, you know, he's the chapter leader of the Rhyme Syndicate for Las Vegas and part of the West Coast.
Oh man, Donald D is a phenomenal, phenomenal individual, man. I had the opportunity to interview him here on the station not too long ago, man. And I have to say, he just an amazing dude. So most definitely, we already know Donald D is going to be listening to this. So shout out to Donald for sure.
Oh yeah, Donald's my guy, man. Me and Donald go way back. I think when I met Donald, I was like probably 17 or 18 years old, and got an opportunity to work with someone of his caliber at a very young age, and working under people like him and being around that type of crowd, man, it really got me groomed and ready for whatever it is that I was going to decide to do when I started to strike out solo for myself.
And also, when I was listening to another one of your past interviews, I was hearing you talk about a conversation that about you actually were connected with Eazy-E of NWA. I have to ask you, how did you originally meet Eazy-E? And of course, man, what was it like just hanging out with him? Because I heard many great stories about him, man.
Oh man, Eazy-E was a real cool dude, man. How I ended up meeting Eazy-E, we actually had a show out here at the time at the Mac Center, and it was my group on the bill, NWA, JJ Fad, and Run DMC. And I met Eazy in the back before we actually all got started to perform. And pretty much, Eazy was just Eazy. He was a cool dude. I didn't have a real in-depth conversation with him, but he was there, and he was just basically like there for let's get this money type of deal. But he was real cool, man. He didn't look down on anybody or anything like that. He was straight.
That's really cool, man. Like, and I gotta ask you one thing though. Like, and me personally, I love NWA, one of my favorite groups of all time. So I have to ask you, like, could you tell us a story about one of the times you shared with Eazy-E that not a lot of people really know about?
There was one time, man, where me and Paulie Mac and our crew that we had back then, we went to LA to actually record a song, and we were all in there with Arabian Prince and Eazy and Dr. Dre, and Dre actually did one of the first beats that we ever had back then, and that time there really sticks out in my mind because it was real cool, man. We had like the Fila sweatsuits and the whatnot, and Eazy and them had their Raider gear on and things of that nature, so we kind of didn't fit the bill as far as the way we were dressed, but we went in there and handled our thing, man, and they were all very excited to have us there and help us, do what we were doing down there at that time.
Most definitely, and first and foremost, God bless Eazy-E's soul, man. Such a phenomenal individual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rest in heaven, Eazy-E, forever. Amen.
Most definitely, man. But also, I noticed as well that you actually had record deals with Black Market Records and game-related records. I have to ask you, how did those record deals come to be for you?
Oh man, it was actually a pretty cool ordeal, man. When I was on Black Market Records, we were about to actually release the very first CD that we ever did on Black Market. But what ended up happening is gang-related records out of Kansas City. They had Tech Nine and Bell Bacardi, a lot of other different artists that are pretty famous right now. And what ended up happening is gang-related brought us out of Black Market, and instead of our album being released on Black Market, it got released on gang-related records. But before we left Black Market, I ended up actually being put in a position to actually be able to do a song with Brother Lynch Young and Triple Six and a couple of other guys from that camp.
Most definitely. I gotta say though, like those were some phenomenal record labels back in the day as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, Game Related was really big in the Bay Area, and Game Related records, coming out of Kansas City at that time and having Tech Nine on the label, we ended up connecting that Bay Area to Kansas City, and ended up having a lot of people on those compilations that we did. We had like Rich the Factor, a lot of different people, man. We did shows with these 40, so it worked out real good.
And also, when we were speaking the other day on Canadian Thanksgiving there on the phone, there's one question I really wanted to ask you. But I kind of waited for the interview because I know probably a lot of your fans are probably thinking the same thing as well. But back in the '90s, you actually decided to take a break from music, And the one thing I really wanted to ask you, like, why did you decide to take a break? And of course, what made you decide to come back as well?
Yeah, I stepped out of the industry, man, basically because I had a lot of business partners that, things just weren't lining out right. So I had to go through a lot of legal issues to obtain my rights to my music and whatnot. So once I got through that, I was just kind of like not even wanting to do it no more, like period at all. So in 2017, I went to the Art of Rap here in Vegas, and I ran into a friend of mine's, Remo Conscious, and I hadn't seen him in probably a good, I want to say maybe over 25 years. But anyway, when I ran back into him, he was like, "Hey, I'm doing music and whatnot." So we just started to talk about doing music, and I let him hear some things that I had, did on my own over the years that I had never released, and he kind of liked it. So he said, "Hey, man, if you can get to LA, I would love to, do a project on you." So I said, "Look, man, I had so many problems before that I just kind of walked away from the game." And he was like, "Oh no, this right here, you will like." So I sat down with him. We talked a little bit more. He asked me if I can get to LA. I went to LA. We laid down a couple of songs, man, and so far with me and him, business is great, and that's what made me actually dive back in and go as hard as I'm going right now.
And I gotta ask you, man, because it's actually on the question list. So since you brought up Remo, man, I'm just gonna bring it up and throw it out there. How did you and him meet? Because I gotta ask, man, you guys are a dynamic duo, man. You guys put together masterpieces when you guys are in the studio together.
We actually met when we were like 14 years old, right? He used to live in Vegas. When we were in like junior high school, we were both doing music. And what ended up happening back then is that, since he was a white guy at that particular time, we didn't have any M&Ms. I think we might have had third base, but I ain't sure. I knew how great he was as a kid. So I took some of his material to Eazy-E and Henji to try to see if, maybe they could help him get put on, with Rhyme Syndicate and maybe actually, help him get a deal. Well, they took his package and they basically told us that they recommend that he goes to New York or somewhere like that. They didn't think that the West Coast was ready for a white rapper of his caliber. So with that being said, he left. I don't know where he went, but when he popped back up in 2017, he had continued to do music on the underground. And man, this dude is amazing. The tracks that he make, they fit my bill perfectly. His topic of conversations and his music fit exactly what it is that I want to do with the music as well. So we actually had some time together as kids doing music, and then run back into each other 25 years later, and the chemistry is still there.
And I also gotta say, man, I don't know if you've noticed, but like I do want to say, since we're to our audience here, I actually just booked Remo as well. He's gonna be coming on the radio station December 15th. So, I was trying to keep it low key until the interview. That way I could kind of be like, boom, here you go, right?
That's what I'm talking about. All right, that's good right there. That's good to hear. Congratulations, Remo. Remo Conscious, you the man. I'm telling you. That makes me feel good right there to hear.
I'm gonna be honest with you though,
Definitely.
there, King, man. When he actually sent me his music, I was sitting back. I'm like, damn, this guy can spit. I was feeling his stuff, man. I most definitely was.
I'm telling you, this dude is a one-stop shop, and I'm telling you, for me, with going through what I went through in the '90s, trying to get put on, it's not easy coming out of Las Vegas to get into the industry, but to run into him and find out that this guy does everything that you can imagine that pertains to music, from the business aspects of it to actual production, mixing and mastering. He shot my video himself. He does video editing. He's a professional photographer. I mean, this dude is just everything. So to run into someone like him, I could not turn down an opportunity like that to actually have someone with that kind of talent that was interested in working with me.
And also, I noticed as well that you were actually one of the founding members of the group Hooded Figures. I have to ask you, you tell us a story behind the formation of Hooded Figures, and of course, how did you and the other members actually get together?
Oh yeah, with Hooded Figures, man. Growing up in Vegas, man, we of course, I was breakdancing at the time. Anyway, we had this community center, and I go to this community center, and I'm breakdancing against, another neighborhood, because I lived in one set of projects, and then my rap partner that I ended up teaming up with to form Hooded Figures was from a different set of projects. And we were like kind of not enemies, but, the neighborhoods didn't get along. So anyway, through breakdancing and battling them, I ended up meeting Paulie Mack. And when I met Paulie Mack, he told me, he said, hey, I got a group, and I want to know if you would like to dance in a group. So I was like, yeah, sure. We connected. I started dancing at first, like I said, for the group. And then as time went by, I started helping him to write some of his lyrics in the background while I was breakdancing because he was the lead man. And then after a while, the writing was actually getting to be really good. The stuff that I was writing, to a point to where he said, "Well, hey, let me just go ahead and make you, my hype man." So I said, "Okay, cool." I became his hype man, and then from becoming his hype man, I ended up actually writing a total and complete Hooded Figures album, my parts and his parts. And we actually did pretty well with that. We did like 30,000 out the trunk, just caravanning up and down the West Coast and down in the Southwest.
That's what's up. And I gotta ask you, do you think the Hooded Figures are ever going to get together and have a reunion tour, or is that just something that you all happen to put in the past?
No, actually, we have talked about it, and I think it's something that can definitely happen. Something that I would really like to see happen. Again, like I said, that's up to Paulie Mack and what it is that he wants to do. He also has a rock metal band similar to Ice-T's rock band that he's working with right now. So it depends on him until me and him actually sit down and actually have a conversation and go and decide to go forward with it. I would love to do a reunion tour with the Hooded Figures and have, Donald D and whoever else, that was around us at that particular time. That would be great. That would be awesome.
Oh man, most definitely. I can see it right now, man. That tour right there, I can most definitely see it selling out for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. I mean, we had some really good songs, and we had some really good artists that were a part of our whole little team back then, man. Like I said, if you really look into it, we had the guys from Kansas City, we had the guys from the Bay Area, Messy Marv, and all those dudes. Put all them together. Oh yeah, that's selling out for sure.
And also, your latest single is actually called I Spit. I have to ask you, what's the inspiration behind that phenomenal single? And of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy?
Oh, the inspiration for I Spit, that actually came to me, believe it or not, man, like 15 years ago. That song stuck in my head 15 years ago. I never forgot it. So when I went to the studio with Remo for the first time, when he put that track on, that was the first song that came to my mind, and I said, "Let it roll," and I knocked it all out pretty much in one take, and he was really surprised the way that I did it. So with that particular song, the inspiration for that one is basically that me growing up in the 70s, I've done a lot of studying of about the 60s. So I've read about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Stokely Carmichael, and a lot of different civil rights activists from the 60s. So basically that song is just paying homage to a lot of the people that came
before us that gives us the actual right to be able to go out here and spit these type of lyrics that we want to spit, whether we're cursing or we're sending a positive message or even a bad message. Somebody had to come before us for us to actually be able to still have the right and the freedom to do the things that we do here in the United States, especially as black people.
Most definitely. I gotta say that single is phenomenal. It's been playing here on Outlaw Radio FM for quite some time, since it first dropped, man. And individuals have been loving it, man. They've been calling into the station. They've been requesting that song. So you most definitely spit, just like the song says. I spit, and I clarify that, man. Individuals are loving that joint, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and like I said, it can be taken a lot of different ways because, as I said, in the song I spit, and like you said, I do spit. Like I got crazy freestyle skills in the whole 9 yards. So yeah, I'm definitely a spitter, in my own opinion. I don't know what the world thinks, but I'm gonna find out eventually, I guess, right?
Hey, man, most definitely, and I'm pretty sure. I'm not actually. I'm gonna take that back. I'm not pretty sure. I'm almost guaranteed that the world most definitely thinks that you're a spitter. I'll tell you that for a fact.
All right, man. I appreciate that definitely.
And also, man, directly after this interview, we're actually gonna be premiering a brand new song that's actually unreleased by Remo Conscious that you are featured on, titled "My Life." I have to ask you, can you give our listeners a little bit more, insight on that song? And of course, man, like, what's the story behind it?
Oh, the song. Well, he actually, before I ever even did I Spit, he sent me the track to My Life, and it didn't have a hook. It just had the beat, and it just had his verse on it. So when he sent it to me, I came up with the My Life, My Life, My Life, and I kind of used that as a guide for me to write my lyrics. Because if you listen to the actual song, he's talking about his upbringing in life, and then when it gets to my verse, I'm talking about my upbringing in life, from the experience from his experience that he had in Vegas up until he ended up to where he is, my experience that I've had growing up in Vegas up until I ended up to where I am now. So the inspiration of the song basically is us giving you an insight on who we are if you pay attention to the lyrics and where we actually come from and what it is that we do and why we ended up doing what we do. But anyway, I came up with the My Life, My Life, My Life, and when I went to LA, I laid that in, and then he said, you know what? I kind of like that. Let's keep it, because I was only using it as a guide to actually, as a hook. So as he kept that, he said, I'm going to write some things behind this, and we're going to make it into a complete hook. And then we found, we didn't find, he already knew this girl named Samantha out of Oakland. And he connected with her a little later on after me and him actually did it with the hook that we had, and he added her in with her vocals, and I think that it's an awesome song, man, and the track is amazing.
Most definitely. We're gonna find out tonight as well. I personally haven't listened to it yet. I've been waiting. I've been waiting to actually debut this to listen to it myself. So I'm gonna be just as surprised as the listeners tonight.
Awesome.
But
I can guarantee you're gonna love it.
Hey, man, I most definitely know I'm gonna love it, man. But I gotta ask you, King, like, what's next for you? Is there anything I happened to miss during this interview? Anything else you still want to promote? We still have you here live on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM.
Yeah, I want to tell everybody, man, that you can download my single right now, I Spit, on all major platforms: Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music, Apple, iHeartRadio. I mean, it's pretty much in every single online store. I do have a link that's Linktree King Alski, and it's link.ee/TRE King Alski. So, yeah, you can check into my link. It'll direct you exactly to where you can find I Spit, where you can download, where you can stream. Also on YouTube as well. There's a video there. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, help me get my numbers up, and man, I would love that. Also, what's coming up for me? My next project, I have another single that I'm gonna drop before I drop my actual album, which we haven't actually come up with a date for yet. But I have a song and a new video that I'm gonna be releasing as well too. This video I did actually film it in Vegas. It features one of my cousins actually singing on it. His name is Kel Levi. He's awesome too. Uh, Remo on the track again, and we're gonna do everything we can to keep this formula that we got, so that we could bring some awesome hip hop to the world.
Hey man, you know what? Individuals in this world, man, need real hip hop, and I'm glad that King Alski and Remo bring it to the table night in and night out, man. I gotta say I appreciate you for that, because you know what? There's, like I was telling you on the phone, bro. There's way too much bubblegum and skinny jean hip hop, skinny jean rap music, man. We need that real rugged raw hip hop music back, man, and you guys are bringing that.
Yeah, man. I'm so glad that at this particular time, I'm actually a part of something that could possibly bring the game back around full circle. Because, like I said, the same way you feel is the same way I feel. I'm so tired of hearing the same song over and over with a different title by different artists, because they all sound the same to me. Or I'm just old. I don't know.
Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, there, King. You know, you're not the only one that feels like that. So you're not old. You just have a taste for real hip hop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
I gotta
sir.
say though, King, I gotta say, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy evening to come on the radio station, man. It was truthfully an honor and most definitely a privilege. I hope down the line, man, we most definitely can make this happen again.
Oh yeah, man, I'm open for anything that you would like for me to do, man, interview wise. Any other things that you may come up with, any ideas that I could actually grab that might be out there in Canada. I'll come there, I'll perform, I'll come there and just for a barbecue hangout, whatever. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm
man,
open.
and the same goes for you as well, man. Anything you need radio wise, if you need like a commercial played, you need anything, just hit me up. I got you.
Okay, for sure, man. I appreciate that. That's 100% love right there.
Hey, man, right back at you. I gotta say, King, thank you so much again, man. But most definitely have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, sir.